any win in the ACC is a great win, just because of how competitive our conference is and the level of play. And I thought our players did a great job the last couple of days buying into how we needed to defend their offense and who we needed to key on. Kelly Hughes and Mariela Fasula are two really, really good players that we needed to contain and respect everyone else. And I thought right from the beginning of the game, we started defending very well. And then offensively has been something we've been working on is our movement, ball reversal, where our shots are coming from, continue to play out of our quick hitters. And tonight I thought we had better ball movement and allowed the offense to work. I can't speak enough about the two players sitting here with me. Callista Walters was huge tonight coming off the bench. Players have the opportunity to extend minutes once they get on the floor, and she certainly did that. She was a key factor, scoring, defense, rebounding, getting her hands on balls, just all over the court. And she's a big reason we're sitting here victorious tonight because she impacted the game the entire time she was on the floor. Kawhi Bradley embraced the role of coming off the bench and hit 3 huge threes tonight for us, timely plays. And I think it was a result of our ball movement, our player movement, and continuing to play out of things. But they were timely threes. They were able to stretch the lead. But we got contributions from everyone. We got to the free throw line, the percentage 17 of 19 from the free throw line. We were able to out-rebound Boston College. Just contributions from, Brenna Wise. You look at Asia Bug, Jasmine Whitney handling the basketball and executing offense. So I'm just very proud of the way our players responded coming after a tough loss and the way we lost to Miami.
This question's for both players. What were some of the weaknesses you saw in the defense to increase your point totals today?
Can you repeat the question, please?
What were some of the weaknesses you saw in the defense that you exploited today?
I don't really think they had any weaknesses. I just think that with practice and going over their defense and us executing plays like Coach said, that's what helped us to get the easy buckets.
I know Coach pointed this out and she set it up for the post players tonight, but the way we were able to exploit them was because their post players really dragged high to help off on the guards, and I think that's where a lot of my points came from because the pocket pass was there and the guards were reading it very well.
Did you kind of expect to come into this game after losing Miami? How did you feel coming into this game, I guess?
Well, I think after every game, whether you win or lose, you have to put it behind you. You learn from it one way or another, and you focus on the next game. And, we've been focusing on our opponent a lot, but I think going into this game, it's been more about us and what we need to do offensively. We didn't light up the scoreboard, scoring 56 points. Would we like to score more? Yes. And I think with time of, playing at a high pace, being able to handle pressure because the teams we're playing against, they're going to come at us. And we need to be able to continue to handle the ball. And, we need that continued balance. When you have a shooter who can knock down 3 threes and you have an inside presence, you have, 2 double-figure scorers, Callista with 19 and Brenna with 15. When you have 2 post players scoring, you need that guard play to balance that, or they're just sit on top of them the entire game. And, I think that's where our movement came into play tonight. So I think it's, you put that game behind us, you regroup, and you focus on the things you need to do moving forward going into the game. And, not only did we have a game plan defensively, but offensively is how we were going to attack them with the way, as Callista had mentioned, how they defend on-ball screens and bringing their post away from the basket. I think they're so strong and they're so long that we needed to bring them away from the basket and involve them in screening action.
This one's for Coach. Did you see anything specifically defensively with their entry passes? It seemed like every time they tried to get the ball in the post, someone was there to knock the ball away. Was that anything specific that you had seen or just good defense?
Our players, our guards, really are getting better at going to help, understanding who we're coming off of, where the help is coming from, and making reads. And I thought they did a really good job. We knew that Fasula was, she's unstoppable on the block. When she catches one-on-one, I think she's very good. And she may not score every time, but she can get a shot off. If you come with a double team, I think she's one of the best passing posts I've seen where she's able to find her shooters, find her post players diving. And I thought our players did a great job of pressuring the pass inside, but they're also sitting in her lap, coming off of help, and being able to recover out to to shooters when needed. I think our guards did a really good job of buying in.
This is for the players. You both had the most playing time of anybody else in the game. Did you expect that coming into the game?
No, I didn't expect it, but as Coach said, she gives every player equal opportunities. So, when you get on the floor, if you play your heart out and produce, then you're going to extend your minutes. So, I mean, that mentality really helped me out this game because when I started scoring, it was easier for me to get in a groove.
I would agree with Calista. Like Coach always says, when we're given the opportunity to take full advantage of it, play hard, and just, like she always says, make it hard for us to come off the floor.
This question's for Coach. In the past few games, you've had a few rotational changes where you've used players you didn't use earlier on the season. For example, you used Destiny Gibbs for 19 minutes and used Cassidy Walsh for 11 minutes. Are the rotations going to continue to look differently in conference play than they did in non-con?
I think it's a game by game. I think with the struggles, and I think it's no secret that Kawhi had been struggling, and instead of putting her in the starting lineup and frustrating her, playing her 3 minutes, and then taking her out, and then mentally being frustrated, maybe Destiny gets us off to a better start. Destiny can defend, play with a lot of energy. She's a great facilitator, not a huge scorer. And then Kawhi comes in with the freedom to play free and confident and knock down shots and gets a feel for the game watching it. Cassidy Walsh has been practicing well. She's hitting shots. She's scrappy. Tonight we went with an 8-player rotation. It's a game by game thing. There's always going to be a 3-post rotation, and then you have to give these players a rest. I don't think any of our players will play 40 minutes a game. I just don't think we're built that way. So we're looking to get a rotation, and we can put different combinations on the floor. Kawhi can play the 2 or the 3. You have Cassidy, and then you have Jasmine and Asia who can play either position as well.
I guess it's kind of for all of you, but I get going into the next game, how do you think you'll best prepare for it?
I just think the biggest thing is knowing that every team that we go against right now, we are an underdog. We're going to play with everything to gain, nothing to lose. We come up with a defensive game plan of who we need to key on, how we want to defend. Louisville is very good. I mean, they're deep. Their inside game is tremendous. One of Asia Durr is a guard who is playing really well. She went from coming off the bench to being their leading scorer right now. So, we're just going to continue to. We'll watch film the next couple of days as we prepare for them and play with everything to gain and nothing to lose, and see what happens. Compete for 40 minutes. That's our goal. If we can compete and give ourselves a chance at the end of the game. We know the teams are going to press us. We know that they're going to be physical with us, and we're gaining experience with every game.
One final quick question. What are some things you think that need to be tweaked offensively or defensively going forward to continue ACC play?
Well, I think there's always room for improvement. I don't think we ever play a perfect game. I think the timing, I said, putting something on our passes, entry passes into the post, being able to knock down shots within the flow of our offense, just the little things of execution, setting screens, using screens, getting people open. We always talk about ball movement, player movement, ball reversal, and making the defense react, and end of shot clock situations. Tonight we had end of shot clock situations. We had a turnover we had 3 turnovers. I think 2 turnovers and a turnover and 2 charges. So those are areas that you look to work on your decision making at the end of the shot clock.